East London as part of a substantial reorganisation are unlawful. Mr Hunt was said to have acted outside his powers when he announced that emergency and maternity care at University Hospital Lewisham would be reduced. The ruling is seen as a key legal test for other parts of the NHS, as our correspondent Jane Draper explains.
Lewisham United will never be defeated.
Jubilation after a High Court judge ruled that Lewisham Hospital should keep its full emergency and maternity care. The services were at risk because a neighbouring trust is millions of pounds in debt. But the court decided it was wrong to include Lewisham in the rescue plans.
I thought the whole thing was absolutely outrageous from the beginning 9 months ago, and I just feel that this huge sense of relief that the judge has agreed.
But the government's warning the prospect of a reorganisation in South London remains an urgent matter.
We have a trust that is losing £1 million a week, and that is unsustainable. And I think everybody has agreed for a number of years that services have to be reconfigured in that area.
The Department of Health says it will appeal against this ruling. And ministers have indicated they might go further and try to change the law to give extra powers to the administrators of failing hospitals. More than 20,000 people took to the streets to fight for Lewisham earlier this year. It shows how plans to change NHS services often stir up strong feelings.
If the Department of Health and the government want to work out how we can best provide services for our population, we are more than willing to get into that discussion. But this type of totalitarian enforcement of poorly thought out rules, no.
Celebrations continued outside Lewisham Hospital later in the day. But health service leaders said the victory was simply putting off the inevitable.
We don't have a system that's fit for purpose to make the changes that are needed. So we've got NHS trusts who are saying very clearly we can't carry on as we are, but on the other hand we've got a system that seems unable to enable them to change. So the NHS seems to me to be stuck between a rock and a hard place.
This is the first time that the process for putting troubled parts of the NHS into administration has been tested in the courts. With other reorganisations in the pipeline, more difficult battles lie ahead. Jane Draper, BBC News.
Now, the people of Zimbabwe have been voting today to elect the country's next president. Robert Mugabe, who's held power for 33 years, is campaigning for another term. His main rival